We're on. We're on.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Fiona Moore, and just to say, first time Facebook Live. So, I think it's a miracle that we're on live right now. I'm a transformational mentor, healer, and teacher, and you can find me at fionamore.com. And I am delighted to be here with Gail Blair. Gail is a food and medical intuitive, a speaker, and an author, and she's become a fast friend this year. Gail shot into my awareness this year. And just in the conversations we've had, I've been struck by two things about Gail. One is that when she woke up to her intuitive gifts around the body and food, she went 2 feet into a way of life that is transforming her life and transforming the lives of her clients. And two, what struck me is her passion for helping people gain an understanding of food as medicine and how it's possible to intuit, to have a relationship with food that is an intuitively guided relationship where we're eating what our body needs as we live and grow. So today I'm looking forward to hearing more about Gail's story, about how she came to be a food and medical intuitive, and exactly with clients. And then we'll have time for Q&A. This is an interactive conversation. And Gail has generously offered to give a live intuitive reading for anyone who would like that today. We have hopefully time for one or two of those. So as we get talking and chatting, it's possible for you to start writing questions in the Facebook thread. And if you'd like a live intuitive reading about what foods are good for you, what are healing foods for you and what are not, then please show that in the Facebook thread and we'll get to you. So, hi, Gail.
Hi there. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Here we are.
Yeah. So let's jump in, Gail, with a bit of your journey, and what got you passionate about food? I think that came first, didn't it?
Actually, that did come first. All of this stepped up when I started actually working my passion for food. And what I mean by that is I started making income at it. So I've always been. Well, I'll tell you how that came about and how I figured that out, because I didn't figure it out till very late in life. I was like 53. And I was at this point in my life that I know everybody gets to, where we go, what am I here for? What's my purpose? And so I was reading a book, and I don't really remember the name. I don't remember the name of it. All I remember about it is this one exercise, which was the exercise I needed. And it suggested going back to when you're like 12, what 11 or 12 in that area, what you were passionate about at that point. And mine was, well, actually it was three things. It was reading, it was drawing horses, and it was food. And so I was cooking with my dad in the kitchen for a family of 7 when I was 11 years old, because my mother was sick. She was also a catalyst to all of this. She was sick for a long time. She died very young. And so anyway, I said, well, it's food. That's it. It's what I've always been passionate about. I've always had a knack for creating recipes and spice combining and figuring flavors out. Like I can taste something and say, well, this is what's in this, And so I realized that was it. And I started a catering company with a friend of mine pretty shortly after that. And I realized that wasn't quite it. I was on it, but I wasn't completely in the flow. And the way I knew this is because it wasn't easy. I've come to realize that when I'm in the flow of my creativity or my purpose, that things happen fairly easily. That was another thing I think I read in that book. And so that's where it started. And right after the catering company ended, food revelation literally entered the same day that I decided to give up the catering company. The name rolled in. I'm like, oh my God, it was a great name. But little did I know how relevant that name was going to be, because it's been just one huge revelation after another since I started Food Revelation. So that's how it started, Fiona.
So you were grounded, and your relationship with food started in childhood, just naturally.
Naturally. And then what happened when I created Food Revelation, obviously I was then smack dab in the middle of the flow of my purpose. And
so tell us about this moment when what broke through for you was Food Revelation. What kind of moment was that for you? Where were you?
I have to tell you, at that time when I created that, it was based on the premise that we've been put on this planet with everything we need for health and maintenance and healing, and it's food. And that's what Food Revelation was all about. And it was all about recipe creation and plant-based cooking classes. I became known locally as the plant-based chef for meat lovers and vegetable haters. So that was kind of fun. I used to do a class called Dueling Chefs. I had a Paula Deen style cook that, it was the person that I went into business with in a cater company. She's a fabulous, fabulous cook. And so we went toe to toe with my recipes that I love taking traditional recipes and holiday recipes and transforming them. And I was vegan at the time, so they're all vegan. And now I'm vegetarian, but mostly vegan. But what happened when I really started doing that, I had an awakening. I wasn't awake at that time. I just was in the flow of it and didn't realize it. And I had this huge aha. It's even hard to describe. It's just like the biggest aha I've ever had in my whole life. Not sustainable. Everything was, there was a hyper awareness. Colors, you've heard people talk about it before. The world, I was looking at the world in, through an HD TV lens, sort of. And I became very aware of energy. I could feel energy. And I became aware that I wasn't a body, because I could feel energy. And I also became aware I was receiving guidance, literally in a physical way. And by the way, everybody's receiving guidance. They're just not aware of it yet. I realized as we go along and our bodies become a clearer vessel, and our energetic body becomes a clearer vessel, then we can hear guidance much more clearly. So everybody has guidance. Mine came in the form, the first way I received guidance, and still one of my most favorite ways, is I would get a pop in my left ear. And it didn't take me long to realize I was receiving guidance. And I guess because I was in this hyper awareness. If I hadn't have been, I probably would have run to the doctor, and said, oh, something's wrong, right? And they're like night sounds, like if you're laying in the country at night, the crickets and the cicadas and the bird every now and then. That's what it sounds like. And again, if I hadn't been in this state, I probably would have run to the doctor, right? And I'm sure a lot of people have realized this, and they have run to the doctor because they don't know what it is. And I realized what it is literally a connection. And it's like a radio wave connection or whatever. I'm connected. And so when I don't hear this, if I tune in and I don't hear this, I'm going, something's interrupting my connection. It's usually something I've been thinking. And so anyway, the pop in my ear in the beginning was telling me that pay attention to your thoughts, Gail. Pay attention to your thoughts, because my thoughts were holding down my vibration. And so if I was going to become a vessel for this work, I was going to have to be more in line with it, be in line with the truth of this work. So, which is a very high vibration. So that's what my guides were telling me. Now, as I've gone down the road, 7 years later, my guides, and all I call my guides is just spirit. That's what it is. It's just spirit. People try to put a name on it. It's just divine guidance. And, for instance, if I'm in my office, like that's where I am now, and I've got the door shut and somebody's at my front door, they'll pop my ear. If I made a mistake on a food chart, my ear gets popped. If they anything want to make me aware of, but the difference is now is I can actually receive very specific information. I can tune into that now. So
when you
you're here.
Okay?
Yep.
No, getting an echo for some reason. Any way of clearing that? Oh, mate, it's better now. So when your intuitive nature opened up to you in a very physical way that you really had to pay attention to. I mean, it's like this was a transformed experience, expansive experience. Really kind of grabbed your attention. Okay. And this is what I so respect about you, is that you turned towards it. You didn't run from this moment.
Yeah.
Okay. It must have been turning your life upside down in that moment.
Oh my gosh. You just don't even know how overwhelming it was. That's what I said. It wasn't sustainable. I was crazy for a while. It was,
This is what I respect about you, is that you faced it and you did what you could. You did what made sense to you to open and what I call allow this expanded moment of an aha to step down, the intensity of it to step down, so that you could live into it in your everyday life.
Oh, and I had a lot of help. You know, they say when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. Well, I had one of those that showed up immediately. So it's not like I was alone. You know, the universe sent me somebody right away that helped me rein in all of this and helped me use it, learn how to use it all. Right.
Yes.
It was very important.
That's so kind of confirming that it is possible to have a kind of awakening that is, it literally stops the life that you've been living. You start to live into a completely different reality, and that help comes, the vaster intelligence that we are.
There was times when I wanted to give it back. I was like, no. But it wasn't. I don't even think that. I don't know. Maybe it's possible, but I could never go back. Never. And I wasn't healthy at the time either. So I used all this to heal my own body first. See? Well,
that's so often the way for the healer. That we have to, that we're led through experiences where we experience the understanding that we are invited others.
Right.
So we come from a very from a direct experience of what we'll be leading our clients through.
Right.
So I love how you really received this as a gifted moment, even though it could probably talk for another hour on that particular part of your life experience. And maybe we will have more conversation about that, because I think for people who are waking up and who have not even major, moments, but smaller moments, it can be destabilizing enough for many people to kind of wonder, what the heck do I do with this new understanding that's coming in for me? Right. So I respect the way that you handle that. So tell us now a little bit more about how you then put together the passion around food and the understanding around food and your intuitive capacity to feel energy, and how did that start to unravel as understanding food as medicine and working with clients?
Well, the short story, because we don't have a lot of time, but the short story is when I realized I had these intuitive gifts. I just get a yes and no in my head, okay, or a blank. A blank means something's on the line, or a blank could mean it doesn't matter. It's neutral, depending on what question I'm asking. Because I intuit everything. I live guided. I ask of guidance everything in my life, and so when I realized that I could actually do this, I started intuiting my own food. I wasn't healthy. I had fungus. I had high blood pressure, and I was frail. I mean, my family said I looked frail. I was vegan, and it wasn't agreeing with me completely. My hair was falling out. My skin was getting crepey. I was getting wrinkles. I was aging. And so I started intuiting my own needs. And what I realized is that, and this is like in missing link number 3, and we probably won't have time to go into all of this, but depending on where you are, where your physical roots are, determines what your baseline diet is. And so like if you're from a cold weather climate, your ancestry is from cold weather, then there's a lot of meat in your DNA, eating meat, because you would have starved to death without it, right? Because there's not a lot of food source in a very cold climate. If you're from a tropical climate, then you're like the elephants and giraffes, the biggest vegans on the planet. You're going to be able to easily, you'll be a natural vegan or vegetarian. Well, it wasn't natural for me because of where I was from. I'm from a cold weather climate. And what I did is I did it suddenly instead of working into it. And my body did not like that. And so I ended up, when I was able to do my food chart, I was able to know exactly what my body wanted. I didn't need to add meat, but I needed to add back some animal. So I added back some cruelty-free eggs and some grass-fed yogurt, and I thrived. And everything, my muscles came back, and, even people still say they don't think I have any wrinkles, but I see them. But and the high blood pressure went away, and just everything stabilized. The body got balanced, everything stabilized. And I felt great and looked great. And so I realized if I can do this for me, obviously I can do it for other people. And as soon as I put that out there, I woke up with the food charts one morning, and I receive a lot of things this way. It just comes in, I wake up with it. And it's one of those things, I run to blogs come in this way. I run to my computer, I put it in as fast as I can before I forget it. And I didn't even know how to make columns in Word, but I did make them that day. I still don't really know how to make them. But it happened super easy. And the chart hasn't changed much. I've added some stuff, but it hasn't changed much since that first download. And then after that, I realized I could actually help people remember how to do this, because everybody can do this too. Everybody can intuit their own food needs. That's the short story.
So it sounds like, client comes to you, tells them what's up physically, and you then have a process that came to you intuitively to help them understand what foods are helping them or what foods are not helping them. Right. And in that process, your clients start to develop their own intuitive connection to their food needs.
Yeah, what happened, it was, again, organically. I call myself the unlikely organically grown food intuitive, or intuitive, because it's not a learned thing with me. It was just revealed. And so what I realized is, as people are going through this process with me, and I do believe that I'm put together with the exact people that are ready to go through this process. And actually, it's my intention. And that's what happens. I get very few people that come to me. I would say in 7 years, there's only been 3 really that haven't been helped in some way. And so, that's because people put it together. I mean, the universe puts it together. I don't have to worry about whether I can help this person or not, right? So what I realize is, as people really work in the process, and I won't say not everybody goes through the whole process. Some people fall off, but I still have, I'm still sure that they're getting what they need, because I'm not the one that put it together, right? So they're getting it somewhere down, it's working. I just don't know how. But people who go through the entire process, what I realize happens is, and usually it's like a 3 to 6 week process. I'm not saying it's not forever. It's very short, because when you're giving the body exactly what it wants and you're taking out what it doesn't, you're on a fast track. I mean, you're on a serious fast track. And most people are turning stuff around in 2 weeks. 3 weeks is about the average. 6 weeks is, one of the long, on the outside. So, but as they're going through this process, what's happening is the vibration of their body is rising. And what I realized is, at a certain point with some people, they were actually getting answers in their head as we're doing the chart. So they're getting it before I even answer. I'm going, oh my God. So what's happening is that they're getting connected as they go through the process. So this is not just about food. This is like spiritual work. I call it doing spiritual work on a physical level. So the physical body has to be, it helps to get higher into your truth when your body is higher into its natural health, its divine health, its truth. So the hookup becomes clearer, that's all. And so when I realized that, then I created the workshops. And what usually happens with people as they go through the process, the last stage is we do the workshop. I either do it in a group, and sometimes I have to do it one-on-one, because people obviously are not local, and we can do it via Skype. So we do it that way. But yeah, that's how that happened. And it's organic.
Yeah, this is about your understanding and what you're offering clients, and what you're getting out there is that, yes, it helps for us as human beings to, start to have a conscious relationship with food. So your food charts will help, I imagine, your clients, start to be a bit more aware of what they're eating. Yeah.
There's a conversation going on between the body and the food. It's always there.
Yes, it's there, but it's not conscious, you see. So that's the first step. And then right on the back of that, what you've noticed is that then wakes up the natural intuitive connection that your clients and we as human beings are already with our food. It's a natural connection.
Exactly. Yeah? That's what happens.
And so,
yeah.
And that's so fabulous because I know for myself, when I've had periods of going into physical disharmony, leading to potential illness,
mm-hmm.
I've had intuitive moments to, what's the food piece? What's the food playing in this? What is the food part in this? And seeing that turnaround that you describe within a few weeks, noticing when I live really, because I was similar to you, I was vegetarian for years and years, but I wasn't a very smart vegetarian.
Right.
So I started to get severely anemic and yeah, I had the doctor say, you need to take.
Yeah, you just didn't know what your body wanted exactly.
Well, I wasn't tuning in. Right. And the moment I tuned in, I heard start eating some animal.
There you go.
Again. Yeah. Now I knew enough because the way I was living by guided intuition anyway, to pay attention, even though it wasn't what I thought it would be, even though it wasn't what I expected of me. And the moment I respected that information and followed through, it was within days. There's a different sense of vitality. Mm-hmm. And of course, it's not a forever thing because changed as I continue to have different
that's the first missing
needs.
Yeah, everything changes, guys. Nothing time doesn't stand still, and neither does our body. So, the deal is that you're respecting your body. One of the things that, I say a lot is that if you're not giving your own animal what it needs to be happy and healthy, what animal are you being cruel to? I mean, I understand the movement, right? But the thing is, it's an evolution. So depending on your personal circumstance, you have to honor that it's an evolution. And so it's taken me 9 years to go from meat to vegan. I'm pretty vegan now. I mean, I don't need the dairy or the eggs anymore. Now I don't need them anymore. Do I have them every now and then? Yes, because I want it every now and then. But it's not like I needed it. Once I did it slowly, I was fine, and now I don't need it. And I have plenty of muscle. I mean, I water skied. I slalom skied for my 60th birthday in August. I hadn't done it in 17 years, and I had no problem. And I wasn't sore. So that tells me, hey, muscles are good. Body is good. But yeah, if you do this, if you just honor the body, which is what you're doing with the food intuitive testing, where the food is talking, then your body is going to respond and it's going to be healthy. And if you can learn how to do this for yourself, my goal is that everybody learns how to do this. There's levels of compatibility. Okay. The highly compatible foods, what I realized pretty, quickly is that foods are compatible, they're highly compatible, and then there's best buddy foods too. I'm not going to go into all that, but what I realize is that the highly compatible foods are literally the foods that have the nutrients. They're your tools to stock your toolbox for maintenance and repair, right? And if you can know what those foods are before you go to the grocery store every week, then you can always have a full stock toolbox. Okay, so but here's the deal. It's not just about what you eat either. It's more importantly, it's what you think. And I realized this going in. So that's like the second missing link is that I realized it didn't matter how compatible the food was or how good the food was. If the thinking was toxic, you couldn't keep the body in balance. So the body wants to be, it thrives in balance, just like all of nature. That's another missing link. It thrives in balance. And when it's out of balance, then it starts knocking on your door and giving you messages that the body's out of balance. This is the sixth missing link. And, all these revelations came to me in the order, I'm giving them in the order I received them, because if I had received the last couple up front, I would have discarded it because it didn't go along with what I'd already learned, right? So I didn't know that our thought was affecting the body. I didn't know that your body is actually making acid with your stressful thoughts. And so therefore you can't keep a healthy pH no matter what you eat, because you're always dumping acid into your body. So I realized that was a huge part of it. Yeah.
So for those with us in the conversation listening, I think Gail's story is a testimony to the power of this understanding that she's sharing. Before we go into the Q&A, Gail, tell us what you've got available for people, and where you are and where you're showing up, and how people can get in touch with you.
Here's my website. I'm super focused on right now the second book. So the first book is, there's a series of books that I've been given to write, and they're called the Evolution of Free Health series. And the first one I published last year, and it's this one. I did it in the form of a cookbook. I was guided to do it in the form of a cookbook. And so it includes a lot of my journey. It also includes the food charts and some basic information on how to use them, even without being intuitive. You can still use them. And then I decided to make it around quinoa, because over the years with clients, one of the most compatible foods to most people has been quinoa. And the thing is it's very nondescript, so it can take the place of a lot of things. And so it's a perfect canvas. So basically I used quinoa as my canvas to create this art, this food art. And you can see there's carrot cake on the front. There's brownies.
Looks delicious.
Oh my God, look at this. There's a lot of traditional recipes in here, like holiday recipes. And they're amazing. Come on, guys, somebody comment that has a book. I know Ramona does. She's been loving it. So anyway, this is the first book in the series. Now the second one is coming out. I'm putting together the second book. This book has been writing itself over the years. And so it's the focus of the 7 missing links. These were the biggest revelations, the biggest ahas, right? And so it's called the 7 missing links to abundant and sustainable health. And then the third book is called Commanding Your Vessel. So that will be the next one. So I'm doing a speaking tour. Whoever wants to bring me into your city to do a speaking tour, I would love to come. Just get a hold of me. That's what I'm doing right now. And obviously I'm still doing my sessions. My gifts have expanded. So when you book a comprehensive food compatibility session with me, I'm guided in how to help you. So I've got a list of things a list of gifts that I have, and I use them all depending on, how I'm guided. So, one of the things that I started doing that came to me, this was like huge revelation, was about 3 years ago. It came to me that the skeletal body can get out of alignment, obviously, and that's what, chiropractic is all about. But sometimes these things cannot be manipulated manually, but they can be manipulated energetically. And so that's one of the things I do. And I also realize that, we're 3-dimensional, so you can be out of alignment in many different ways: front of the spine, back of the spine, sideways, up and down, right? So this was huge, because there's a lot of, whenever you have misalignments, you have blocked energy. So it makes sense that this would come to me, because, this just goes along with everything else. We need to bring the body into its highest vibration. You need to block the energy. It's just like blood is your life force. Well, this chi that runs through us is our, goes beyond that. So we need to unblock that. So I know that's why that came in. So I also do a lot of chakra chakra work now. One of the things that keeps coming up is that we have remote, some people say chakras, I say chakra. We have remote chakras. So we have chakras above our energetic body field, and we have some below, just like we have the, everybody's pretty familiar with the 7. And so those have been dormant in most people up until now, and now they're wanting to be activated. So that's another thing that I'm doing, is helping people with that. What else? There's something else. I think those are the main ones, really. There's other things, but those are the most important ones, and we're getting down to 11:31.
Yeah, perfect, wonderful. So, Gail, you're fielding the questions your end, because I don't see them on my screen here. So, do you have any questions?
Okay, let me put the post up here. I'm just going to start posting some comments.
If anyone listening right now live would like a live conversation with Gail, and to get a taste of what it is to have an intuitive kind of information come to you around food as medicine, let us know. Write it in the chat box there and in thread, and we'll get to you.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
thanks, by the way, if y'all want to come on face to face, you can do that too. You can be up here with me and Fiona. So just let me know if you want to do that. Who else is here? Well, so far I've got 4 comments and 3 reactions. So we need some more people to come on. Let's go.
Do we have anyone live with us right now? Alison. Hi, Alison. Great. Glad you're here.
Great. Alison, you got a question? You want me to intuit something for you? She's actually, I know Alison, so I'm willing to answer whatever questions she wants to put out there.
Go for it, Alison.
Go for it. Not putting you on the spot or anything.
I think we just did.
I'm going to Facebook right now, and I'm going to just go ahead and message everybody that we're here.
Okay.
Again.
Oh, hi, Ramona. You're here but shy. Oh, me too. I get that. I don't know how Gail got me to be on Facebook Live, frankly. She's got this most amazing enthusiasm, which I just fell into. So, Ramona, I totally get it, because this is my first Facebook Live, and I nearly thought, what am I doing? I'm a shy person. So, Ramona, I'm so glad you're here.
Ramona, do you have a food question? You can just type it. I can see it. Are you curious about something? Okay, Allison said, what is my body needing right now?
Gail, can you check the question from Tracy? Because something about she either can't get on or couldn't read it all. Does it see a comment from Tracy?
Had current comment.
There.
Taking me to the About page, not this home page. What is that?
Can you give her the link?
Hang on just a minute. Here we go. Oh, weird. It kept taking me to the About page, not this home page. What do you mean exactly? Are you talking about on what?
Can you reply to Tracy on the Facebook thread? Here now. Fantastic. Hi, Tracy. Oh, so glad you're here. Sorry if the links are a little bit weird. First Facebook Live for me, so could be that just not knowing how to do the tech.
Yeah.
Tracy, we're in the portion of the conversation where Gail is asking for questions about intuiting food as medicine, and she's offering to do a live intuitive assessment. So Tracy, if you want to hop on and have a direct experience intuiting foods for you, what foods are good for you right now, then please say so. We'll bring you on.
Okay, and Allison, while Tracy's thinking about that, what I'm getting right now is you need some protein, dear.
Tracy, great. So do you want to come on board, Tracy? Gail will tell you how to come on board with for a live reading.
I'm going to shoot you the link, Tracy. There it is.
Oh, great. So the link's coming your way, Tracy, and click on it and you should be then able to have a direct conversation with Gail.
Allison says, exactly, spot on. Okay. She's pretty intuitive too, so she's probably testing me. Just kidding.
Okay, Tracy's still working on that.
Okay, let me see. Let me go here and see. You should show. Let me get it out of here. We're learning together, okay?
We're learning this tech, yes.
Okay, did you connect a camera?
Tracy, how are you doing with connecting in? Gail's working on bringing you in, Tracy, so just hang with us with this.
Sharp is asking, she's got an appointment with me on the 20th, but she wants to know what she can do. She's got fungus right now. So even without even intuiting anything right now, I can tell you that you want to avoid sugar and anything that can turn to sugar. So you want to go really lightly on grains. You want to stay low sugar fruits, which would be the berries. Those are the lowest. Bread, no bread, no alcohol, no sugar, and no fungus. Okay, so like for instance, a lot of citrus harbors fungus. So if you see like white on citrus when you're in the store, that's fungus. So you don't want to be putting fungus in a body that already has fungus. That's the bottom line. So you're going to avoid citrus except for lemon. So anyway, that's a good place to start.
Great, thanks, Barbara. Tracy asked to be sent the link again, Gail.
Okay, here we go.
And Barbara will come back to that question about fermented foods.
Yeah, one of the things that I realized, the chart is very interactive. Okay, so it not only is it giving me what your body wants and doesn't want, it's actually giving me messages too. So, for instance, I can tell, and this is lovely. I can tell when somebody's pregnant. I can tell if somebody's getting ready to get pregnant. And this was so amazing to me when I got this, because I realized that that pregnancy doesn't just happen. It's just there's this design because the body's already getting ready for it before it even happens, which is pretty awesome. And so the other thing, when people have fungus, one of the ways I receive a message is I'll get an on the line or not compatible with fermented foods, which doesn't make any sense because fermented foods are probiotics. They actually build the immune system, which would help to get rid of the fungus, right? The fungus wouldn't like that. It would just go someplace else. So why am I getting this? Well, there's two reasons. One is that when you ferment something, usually there's a lot of sugar involved. And two, there's alcohol involved. It makes alcohol. So that's why. So a lot of people that have fungus won't be compatible with fermented veggies. And so they have to go get it some other way, right? Until they become fungal free. So did I answer the question? Yes, I think I did.
So it looks like Tracy is on Be Live. Can you find the thread of her conversation, Gail?
I wish I could see her. Tracy, have you connected your camera? Is your camera connected? Because I don't understand why you're not here. Why I can't see you. And I'm just playing around now with the different screenshots to make sure I'm not missing something. And I'm not. Guest. Okay. No, you're not here. Well, it looks like that's something we're going to figure out later. But you're here where I can answer your questions. You're just not, your picture's not showing. So,
is there a question, Tracy, you can type in the Facebook thread that summarizes what you're interested in right now? If we're not able to go into detail live, then perhaps there's something you'd just like to get a little bit of a feedback around.
Barbara, did I answer your question? I think I did on the kombucha. That would be like a no-no right now. Who else is here? Tracy. Tracy, you're here twice. I see you twice. Okay. Ask away, Barbara. She must be typing. Okay, Barbara asked, this is a good question. Barbara asked, I developed an allergy to shellfish late in life. Why would that be? Most allergies are actually food intolerances. They start as food intolerances. And what the body is saying is, hey, I've had enough of that, okay? Or there's another reason, is because the shellfish is contaminated. So yeah, I'm sure everybody's aware that, you know, our oceans are getting contaminated. And a lot of things are farm raised. They're not natural anymore. So you get when animals are not eating their natural diet, then we're not getting what's natural either. And so a lot of this has to do with, well, it's a twofold thing. One, you may have overeaten it, or you know, through your life. Or number two, that food source is just not compatible with your body anymore. It's not in alignment with nature. Your body is organically made by Mother Nature, and our natural food source is also natural organic food. And so as we get further away from that, it becomes less compatible to the body. The body actually sees it and goes, oh, I don't know what to do with that. And so that creates a food incompatibility. It creates an intolerance in the body. And this also brings up, too, the fact that, you know, if you're used to eating a lot of the same things all the time, then you're missing a lot of tools for your body, right? And also, you could be creating intolerances because your body thrives in balance and synergy. Everything works together. And if you just keep eating the same things over and over again, you're throwing that off. Okay, Tracy's got
Tracy, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I have really reduced sugar and carbs, and I feel like I should be reducing weight even with all my swimming. Oh, this is so awesome. Thank you, Tracy, for that question. I love this because I was in that boat. I had 20 pounds I couldn't lose. that was back in like 2009, 2010. And I've always been very active. I was a tennis addict at the time. You know, I was playing hardcore tennis with guys, you know, 5 days a week. So it didn't make any sense to me. And I've always been a food nut. I've always been a health nut. When my mother died, that changed everything for me. I realized the connection between food and the body at that moment. When my mother died at 57 from her 4th heart attack. So what's going on here is there's just something that your body wants or doesn't want that you haven't figured out yet. And so, and let me just say this right here. I'm not a doctor. I'm an intuitive. So there's a little disclaimer here. I just want you to know, because I said I'm only going to answer food questions, but the reality is I'm a medical intuitive. I can see and intuit a lot of things. So let me just tune into this for a second and see if I can get an answer on what your body is trying to tell you right now. Okay. Okay. And, you know, now I get an intuitive hit right away now. And so then I just go and I verify it. And so I knew pretty much right away. I was so glad you asked the question because this is so important. I knew right away what you were bringing. And you're storing toxins. It's not weight necessarily. A lot of people come to me and they think they've got all this weight to lose, and really what they have to lose is toxins. And so what happens when the body's out of balance? And by the way, there was another thing I can intuit is body pH. And by the way, this is not your blood pH. When you go to the doctor, they're testing your blood. And the reality is that your body pH wants to match your blood pH, but most of the time, in a lot of people, it doesn't. And so you're in like the highest healthy state when your blood pH and your body pH match. And I'm not talking about organ pH either. The organs have different pHs as well. As a matter of fact, one sign that your body pH is out of whack is that it throws off your organ pHs. Like your stomach, if you're acidic, your stomach becomes too alkaline. If you're if your bladder pH becomes out of balance, you get a bladder infection. Those are the signs, that your body's out of balance. Your body's always talking to you. And so anyway, right now your pH is 5.9, and it wants to be somewhere in the range of 7.3 to 7.4. And so it wants to match your blood. What happens when you're acidic, and this is what Spirit showed me. They just gave me a picture. When your cells are alkaline, your body's, your overall body pH is alkaline. Your cells are like sponges, and they hydrate super easily. They take in water easily. They take in nutrients easily. And when they're acidic, they're like river rock. Everything just washes over them. So you're not absorbing water very well. You can drink a lot of water, but you're not absorbing it. It's just going right through you. I mean, if you're one of those people that, you drink water and then you go to the bathroom, that's a good sign you're acidic. You're not hanging on to it. Or you get up several times during the night, and you're also not effectively absorbing nutrients. So you become malnourished. So basically, and you can't release toxins. You're stuck both ways. So you're storing toxins. They can't be released because your cells are like rock, right? They're hard. And so as you start raising your pH, this corrects and you become sponges again. And then what happens is you release toxins. So when you go through this process, a lot of people go on diets, and I'm going to give this as a great example. Where I used to work at a little cafe, while I was building this business. And, I connected with a lot of people there, even on this intuitive level. And it was like, it was a greasy spoon. It was like, I was shocked at the way universe can use any situation to bring people together. It was amazing. But this one lady, she really had a weight problem, and it was all focused. She looked like my mother. And at the end, my mother, I called it, she looked like a super chicken. She had these little bitty skinny legs and arms, and then all of her weight was right here in the middle. And so I hadn't seen this lady for a long time. And she came in like about 3 months. She was gone for 3 or 4 months. And after we talked for a minute, she said, Gail, you haven't even noticed that I've lost 50 pounds. You haven't said a word. And I'm like, oh my God, you're right. You've lost weight. I could see it in her face all of a sudden. But I realized the reason I didn't notice it, because she still had this. She still had the same gut. So what I realized, that was like the aha. What I realized that she's not releasing the toxins. And so when you do this process, this is what leaves first. I mean, how many people go on a diet and they lose a lot of weight, but it just seems like this is the very last thing to go, or it never goes, right? It's because it's where you're storing your toxins. You restore your toxins safely in your fat cells until your body can get to a healthy place to release them. That's what happens. So I'm getting with you. This is what's going on, and I can definitely help you. Okay. There you go.
Terrific. So glad that worked out, Tracy, for you to have a little bit of a taste here of what Gail can hone in on intuitively. And it sounded like, reading your comments, that you are resonating with what Gail says. Because on the side of it, Gail, when you are coaching your clients, mentoring them, like you said in the interview, not only is it helping people get very clear about what foods they need and don't in this moment, but you're teaching them how to have an even clearer connection with that intuitive relationship with their own food needs.
Tracy, I would say too is I'm sorry, Fiona, I interrupted, but this is coming up too. I would say to you too that pay attention to your thoughts. What's going on in your mind too. And don't discard your thoughts either. I realize that the law of attraction has kind of taught us to disregard our thoughts. Let me just replace that negative thought with a positive one, right? And I realize that there really aren't shortcuts. Everything is happening for a reason. Just like your body is sending you messages with physical symptoms, your thoughts are also giving you messages, especially if they're chronic. So if you find yourself thinking about the same thing over and over again, well, that's chronic knocking on your door that something wants to be seen and heard, right? So if we just keep stuffing it, we never get to it. So anyway, sorry, Fiona, back to you. No,
I got it. Thanks for completing that. So, Gail, we are coming up to time nearly. Is there any final question you guys have that are here live with us today? It's been, I don't know about you, I've just been learning so much by listening to Gail, and so hopeful about this natural capacity that Gail has lived so deeply into, that we can know food at an intuitive level. We can navigate health issues, weight issues, by developing an understanding of what foods we need in a particular moment. This, to me, is so vital because, as Gail was pointing to, there's so much suffering that people can get into in following diets, following diet after diet after diet. And,
right.
And yet no diet is tailored for one individual. No diet works for thousands of people.
Let me speak on that, because this is so important to realize that, and I use a really good example here. You just hit on something really big. Everybody is so different and unique, and everybody's needs are changing constantly. And so what's good for one body won't necessarily, I don't care how good the food is. If your body can't digest it, it can't use it. It becomes a burden to the body after that. So you've got to listen to the body. And the best example I can give you is one of my family members. You know, the world's telling her that all this raw food is great for you. You know, eat raw food, eat raw food. Well, she almost tore a hole in her colon because she had diverticulitis and did not know that she had it. She's always been a very healthy person. And so she ended up in the hospital. She's never been in the hospital. She's, you know, 50-something years old, and she's been in the hospital one time in her life when she had a baby, and that was it. So this was a total shock to her and a huge lesson that you've got to listen to your own body, not what the world is telling you. Okay? Thank you, Fiona. And you know, I want to say this too, because we just got a few more minutes. I'm sharing all 7 missing links in a video series. I've already done the first 2. I don't think I've uploaded to YouTube the second one yet, but the first one is up. So you can follow and literally get a taste of this whole book and this whole process through these video series. I'm really excited about doing this. I think it's really important, and I just feel like I just need to put it out there as I go through the publishing process, because the world is ready for it now, and it's going to take me a while to get the book published. So anyway, sorry I interrupted you again.
Really appreciate your generosity, Gail, and thanks everyone for showing up, lending your support, being curious about your own relationship with food. Gail shining a light on this, and just appreciate you, Gail, for what you're doing to getting your understanding out.
Tracy, she's got a question here that I'm going to go ahead and answer for her. She's asking, can I ask the body what foods will balance and release toxins? I'm not going to go into real specifics right now because the chart, to do a chart really, just to do compatible takes about 45 minutes. So obviously we're not going to do that. But I can tell you this, since you're acidic, then you need to eat more alkaline foods. That's the first thing that you need to concentrate on. So you need to eat green stuff and cucumbers and lemon. Lemon is very alkalizing. You could do a little detox lemonade, and I will give you this real quick. I'll intuit that for you real quick. How much? No, okay, clear. How much lemon juice? No. Okay, so you're going to do 2 teaspoons of Bragg's apple cider vinegar and 3 teaspoons of lemon juice. And by the way, if you do have doTERRA or Young Living lemon oil, that's even better. You can do a couple of drops. And then just warm water. You don't want to kill the probiotics, so you just want to make it warm. That's it. 8 ounces of warm water, and you can sweeten it with stevia if you want it a little bit sweet. Drink that when you first get up in the morning, and wait 30 minutes before you do anything else. And what your body is doing, it's healing and detoxifying at night. And so what you're going to do when you drink this is it's going to release all that stuff. You're going to dump it. So it's a twofold thing. It's going to help raise your pH, and it's going to help you release toxins. So that will help you immensely. And then just add some more green stuff. Of course, without doing a food chart on you, I can't tell you exactly what to add. Cabbage is coming up. But you want to add some green stuff and eat berries and pretty much stay away from all other fruit besides berries right now. So that'd be raspberries, strawberries, cherries. Are you compatible with all of those? Yes. Okay, so blackberries are on the line. You don't want to do blackberries, and you don't want to do cherries. So raspberries, strawberries, and blueberries. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, and here's the other deal. People, Fiona, whenever you need to hop off. I'll probably stay on.
I'm good.
Once you get exactly what your body wants, your pH is going to be raised to optimum, usually within a week. So and when you get your pH into the healthy range, oh my God, all kinds of wonderful things happen. You're going to start sleeping. You're going to be less irritable. Your brain fog is going to go away. These are things that, as I've gone down the line, that people tell me that happen. You stop going to the bathroom at night. Your belly goes away. You lose weight really quick. Here's the deal. The weight gain is just a symptom of imbalance in the body. The body knows how to regulate its weight. You should see what I eat. Oh my God. Allison, if you're still here, you know how I eat. I can eat. And there's another client of mine, Jen, she's not on here today. I've never seen a woman that could eat as much as she can at one time. And she's very thin. I'm very thin. And of course, I'm eating for my body 80% of the time, though. And then, 20% of the time, I'm just doing whatever, I want to do. Like it was my youngest son's birthday last night, and I had cake, and I just bless it all and move on. And I talk about this, too, in the missing links. If we're going to, the lowest vibration on the planet is judgment, and the highest is unconditional love. If we're going to judge our food, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to judge us back, right? So it's very important to get out of judgment about food, because it's really not about good or bad food. I've already shown this. It's about compatible food. It's not about good or bad. It's whatever. My body loves chocolate. My body loves wine. My body loves coffee. It's not about what's, in the world. A lot of the world will say that's not good, but it's good for me. So it's not about good or bad. So we can leave our judgment behind. If we're going to go out and enjoy a birthday slice of birthday cake, and we're going in our head, oh my God, this is going straight to my hips, or my blood sugar is going through the roof. Well, guess what? You just help that happen. So I have a love and gratitude blessing that I use. And one of the best ways that here's what happens when you bless food with love and gratitude, and then you actually enjoy it. And you don't oppose any of that with negative thinking, is it raises the vibration of the food and also raises your body's ability to use it. So then it just became compatible, right? So anyway, I think that's a really good place to end. Let's just leave all the judgment behind. And that works in all of life, actually.
I love it, Gail.
Yeah.
Gail, how about you just say, can you get that echo out? Is that working now? Great. How about you just say again where people can find you and connect with you? And yeah,
you can find me at foodrevelation.com. It's REVELA. Here, let me just put it back on the screen. There you are.
Foodrevelation.com.
Yep, foodrevelation.com. And here's the other deal. Go like my Evolution of Free Health page. Because this is where all the missing links are coming to be shown. They'll be on YouTube, but if you like this, you'll get heads up when they appear, and you'll get heads up too. And like Food Revelation, the Food Revelation Facebook page, like that one too, because that's all about food. It's all about recipes and things like that. And so these Facebook lives and videos are going to come up on those pages, and you'll get notified. So like Evolution of Free Health page, I also have a closed group if you want a more private setting. Evolution of Free Health Facebook, Food Revelation Facebook, like those, and like my Intuitive Chef Gail Blair channel, please. Thank you. And get my book. You're gonna love this. Okay, you can get this on Amazon or actually anywhere, any online store. You can get this book. It's everywhere, but you can definitely get it at Amazon. If you go to Amazon, you can get it before Christmas still. Okay.
Fantastic, Gail. You can see that Gail's on fire. She's someone to follow. So this has been such fun, Gail.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's been a blast. I love this. I love this setting. We're going to be doing more of this for sure. And there's going to be more people, but this was perfect for the first time out. Knowing what we're doing, we didn't want to get it too crazy, right? Thank you, universe.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Is there anybody else that wants to stay on, or is it good for us to just leave now? Is there anybody else? So anyway, yeah, if you want to contact me for a session, you can go to Food Revelation, and there's a schedule there. So you can just schedule. Hit schedule, and you're going to go to my calendar. So you get to pick out your day and time. It does. I'm going to tell you this. It fills up at the first of the year because people, those New Year's resolutions, they want to, get on the health track then. So And I'm also, what is today, the 14th? I've got special pricing. Actually, I may extend it. I was going to cut it off for tomorrow, but I might extend that. I've got holiday pricing, so everything's 20% off right now. So this would be a good time if you're interested to do it. Okay. Anybody else?
Thanks, Tracy.
Thanks, Tracy. Okay, I think we're good to go. Here. Okay, thank you, Fiona, so much. Love you. I'll talk to you.
Love you too. So much fun.
Yes. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.